Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, as you read in the title, this is my very first prep. This is the very first thing that I purchased when I started prepping, as far as other than like food and things like that. This is the first item that I prepped, and most of you probably already know what it is. It's a small generator, or it's a generator that you use this wheel right here. Okay, see this wheel turning right here is hooked up to what I'm pretty sure is like an alternator that's hooked up to a charger controller that's hooked up to a battery that is hooked up to an inverter. So the way this thing works is, if you can see in here, there's a battery, all right, that's hooked up to what I think is a charge controller. That's what I think that is, but I'm not very good at technical stuff. So this here, what looks like an alternator, is probably exactly what it is. 400 watt alternator that pushes the energy that it's creating when you crank the handle through this little charge controller here, and it pushes it into this battery. Now, if you can see these sprockets here, they're connected to the battery, and those sprockets are connected to this inverter, a little 400 watt inverter. Now, this is not a very big system, but think about it. If you lost power and you're not in an area where you need power for your heat, all right? Because this definitely would not do the job to power a heating unit. Of course not. It's only 400 watts. But it would be great for like LED lighting, all right? I've run my KitchenAid mixer off of this. My KitchenAid mixer is like 360 watts, and I've run it off of this for a full cycle, okay? And it works really well. And all you have to do is just turn this wheel. That's it. Now, I have not used this machine in 5+ years, okay? I've taken it out now and then and just cranked it to see if it still works, and it works fine. And this battery here, it's an interstate battery. It looks like a lawnmower battery. This battery is about 6-7 years old, and it still works just fine. It had a little bit of acid buildup here on that terminal, but I went ahead and cleaned it off with a little bit of lemon juice and a Q-tip, and it works just fine. So I've cranked this probably about 500 times in the last 15 or so minutes, okay? And it's not hard to crank. It works pretty easy. Now, a lot of you out there who are technically inclined would probably say that you can probably make one of these with no problem. And you probably could, because it's a very simple unit. And that's one of the things I like about it, because the only thing that it really has is this handle here. I mean, this crank connected to this pulley, which in turn is connected to the alternator inside. And whoever made this, I purchased this years ago, and I forgot exactly what I paid for it. If I remember correctly, it was around $220 or so. So you could probably make your own for less than that, especially if you go buy an alternator, you know, at a junkyard or something like that, okay? But like I said, this is my very first prepping item that I purchased, okay? And what you do is once you've cranked it enough times, like I said, I've cranked it like 500 or so times in the last 10 or 15 minutes. And when I opened this up, when I took it out of my storage, it was completely drained. The battery was down to like 7 volts. And I thought that the battery was dead, that it wouldn't hold the charge. But surprisingly, after cranking it for a while, it's still good. It still works. So right here, it comes with a small meter that tells you the voltage, and as you can see right now is at 12.4, which is pretty low for a battery. But like I said, I haven't really worked this thing in years, so that's pretty good. And then as soon as you turn on your inverter, it's going to steal a little bit of the energy. You can see it going down. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. See these lights? These lights are being powered by this. And the energy was produced by just cranking on it. And it's actually not bad, because these little LED lights, they don't use very much energy. So it's actually good. And as a matter of fact, I don't think these are LED lights. Let me take a look. Yes, they are. They're LED. So you don't have to have these types of lights. And as far as keeping this cranked, let's say, you see, I just ran out of energy. I just turned it off because I ran out. So, you know, obviously that battery needs to get, you know, charged up really good for it to be able to hold a load for a long time. All right. So that's one thing that I need to do. I might have to replace the battery, but I've got a friend that has a battery charger. I think I'll bring it over there and see if he'll charge it and see if that battery will hold a load for a while. All right. But other than that, let me show you. So you see right now, let me turn this on. See, it's going to turn off here any second. Take a look. See, it turned right off. And right now it's at 12.0. Okay. So let's go ahead and give this thing a few cranks. All right. I'm trying to crank this and hold my phone, which is my camera, for those of you that don't know, at the same time. But I'll try cranking this for maybe like a minute or so. I time myself and I average about 75 cranks a minute. So that's not too bad. But when you think about it, if you even make something small like this, all right, let's say, for example, here, especially in Alaska, in the winter time, solar is not really that great for us. Depending really on where you live in Alaska, solar is not that great in the winter because we don't get that much sunlight, of course, you know. But where we're at, we're kind of like on a hill, but we're like in a valley within a hill. All right, so in the wintertime, the sun is pretty much, we don't see the sun during the winter, okay? During the winter months, you know, so starting December 21st during the solstice, we really don't even see the sun. We just see a remnants of what is the sun. You know, we know there's a sun out there, but we just can't see it. So we don't have any direct sunlight to be able to power a solar system in the wintertime. But something like this, you can at least have this powered up to light your home. And for example, let's say you have a family of 4, you guys can take turns powering this up. You know, you can have one do it for 15 minutes or 10 minutes and then just take turns until that battery is charged, and then you guys will have light probably for at least a good 2 or 3 days if you use LED lighting. All right. And another thing you can do is you don't have to use a small battery like that. You can actually get a bank of batteries. You can get 2 or 3 or 4 batteries and connect them together. They won't fit inside the case, but you can still do that and have even more power storage depending on how much cranking your family wants to do. All right, so do I think this is something that's good to have? It was a gimmicky item that I bought that I was pretty excited about buying when I first started prepping. I'm kind of glad I have it now because this is actually something that I can use to when I have a chicken coop or something. If I need electricity out there for whatever, I can actually bring this out there and at least have some light. That's if, for example, the electricity goes out. It's not something that I would leave there all the time. But it's just a handy little item to have. I kind of like it. You know, like I said, it's more of a gimmicky item to have. But just think for yourself, if you live in an area where the cold weather is not really a factor, this would be a pretty nice little backup to have for lighting. Now you see that I cranked it for about a minute and it's back up to 12.7. Now let's see how long the lights will last. It's probably not going to last very long because that battery really needs to be recharged with a battery charger. But you can see how it's working, just trying to keep those lights on. I think that the fan in the inverter is probably drawing more energy than the lights are. But as you can see, imagine if you had a battery in there that was fully charged and you kept it charged by cranking it maybe 15 minutes every hour, you would have lights, all right? And trust me, if you've ever lost electricity and didn't have any lights, this is something that would be really nice to have. And like I said, I've run my KitchenAid off of this before. Look at that. That lasted like 30 seconds. So for 1 minute's worth of cranking, I got about 30 seconds worth of light. So it really depends on, you know, on how much you need and how many batteries you have hooked up. But I kind of like this, and the reason I really like it is because it was my first prep item. So I'm not saying that anyone should go out there and buy one of these. I don't even know if the company that makes these still makes them or is still around. More than likely, the company I bought this from was probably out of a garage or something. Because I did buy it. I believe I bought it off of eBay. So it's probably somebody making it in their garage. But I just wanted to show you guys this. I think it's you know, even though I don't really use it, you know, I would use it if I had to. You know, I would. But even though I don't use it, it's something that reminds me of the years when I first woke up and first realized that we needed to start prepping. And look at that, it's made in the US. And it obviously is. So, all right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. A really short video today. I just wanted to show you this. I looked at it and I was like, wow, look at that. I remember when I got that. I wasn't even living in Alaska when I got this. So, having said that, I hope you guys are having a good week. I have an interview coming up here in the next few days, and I think you guys are going to really like it. So we'll see. I think I might have it premiere this weekend or on Monday of next week. So it's going to take a few days to get the logistics out of the way as far as being able to get together with the person that I'm interviewing. But I think that you're really going to like this person that I'm interviewing. It's a she, and she has her own YouTube channel, and I've been subscribed to her for a while now. So, yeah, I've been subscribed to her for a pretty long while now. And I think it's going to be a great interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and call it off. I'm not going to bore you and start blabbing away. Like I said, I hope you all are having a good week so far. I am. Oh, I've got some really good news, by the way. I finally went to the doctor for my shoulder. I actually went to the surgeon. I went to see the surgeon for my left shoulder, and they're finally going to fix my shoulder. So I went in to see him. I had a consult with him yesterday, and he came in and he said, I looked at your MRI, and I'm like, so what's it look like? And he said, your shoulder is really messed up. That's what he told me. He said, your shoulder is really messed up. And I'm like, I've been telling you guys this for the last 3.5 years. He said, I know, but I know you have to get through the physical therapy and all that kind of stuff first. And so what it's looking like is that I've got a whole bunch of arthritis on part of my shoulder. He said that my rotator cuff is hanging on by a couple of strands, a couple of muscle fibers. And he said that my left bicep is just about coming off also. He said that the left bicep is in worse condition than my rotator cuff is. And he said that my rotator cuff is only hanging on by a few muscle strands. So that just goes to show that, man, the medical system's got a long ways to go. And we live in the United States of America also, where supposedly we have the best doctors and best medical system in the world. But I am very thankful, though, that he did schedule me to get my shoulder worked on, and hopefully he'll be able to take care of it. And I'm pretty confident that he's going to do a good job, because he says he's done a ton of these. He said they call this type of surgery a blue plate special. I don't know why, but he said that he's done a ton of them. So I feel pretty good about having the doctor that I saw perform the surgery that he's got to perform on that side. So it's going to be about a 6-month recovery, and but that's a good thing, because we're in the middle of we're not even in winter yet. So hopefully by the time that the snow starts to melt, my arm will be, back at least 50-60%, so that I can start doing, the things that we do when it's not snowing, which is working on your property. That's usually what almost everyone around here in Alaska does that, doesn't live in town, So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So that's a really good little bit of news that I got for you guys, is that I'm finally getting my shoulder taken care of. It's been a pretty big struggle with this thing. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's not very exciting, but to me it was, getting this little thing out here and remembering back to when I actually started thinking about and really being serious about prepping. All right, so having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a great day. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.